Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for being with us on this historic day at Niagara University. My name is Dave Cristantello, and I'm the Vice President for Institutional Advancement here at Niagara, and it's my pleasure to serve as our MC for today's event. We will have a small program here before we make our way over to the building for the official blessing and ribbon cutting. Right now, I'd like to introduce the individuals who are up here with me today. First, one of our current students, Bethany Zakrzewski, a senior biology major. It's my pleasure to welcome back to campus the Reverend Joseph L. Levesque, CM, who is serving as the interim president at St. John's University. Niagara University's 26th president, the Reverend James Maher, CM. Our special guest, Mr. Tom Golisano. And finally, it's my pleasure to introduce the chairman of the Niagara University Board of Trustees, Mr. Jeff Holzschuh, member of the Niagara class of 1982, to come forward to begin our program.
Thanks, Dave, and good afternoon and welcome to all of you. Thanks for joining us today. It's a great day to be a Niagaran. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to thank everybody who's played a role in this project. It's clearly been the crowning jewel of our Promise of Niagara capital campaign. I'll also say, as an alumnus, that I'm incredibly proud of all the changes we've made on campus, and again, with this being the center. Under the leadership of Father Levesque, along with the vision and the guidance of my colleagues on the board, the campus has undergone an amazing transformation. We've made extensive renovations to St. Vincent's Hall. We constructed Bisgrove Hall and the new academic complex, the construction of the Elizabeth Ann Clune Center for the Theater, the construction of a new Vincentian residence, as well as the big reconstruction of Mead Hall into the Gasek Center. Each of these projects has had a big impact on the campus, but what we're really here to talk about today, of course, is the B. Thomas Golisano Center for Integrated Sciences. Tom, our words can't fully express our gratitude for your generosity. The facility is clearly, as I said, the anchor academic building on this campus, and it will forever change the science at Niagara University, and it'll play a key role in the development of science and research programs for our students that are here today and well into the future. It should be also noted that your lead gift extended well beyond the construction of this facility. It proved to add additional momentum and energy to our campaign that ended in a very successful conclusion. So on behalf of the board and the alumni of Niagara, thank you again for your unprecedented generosity. So as many of you know, a facility like this had many, many people involved in the planning and the construction, and I do want to recognize a few people who are here. First, it gives me great pleasure to welcome back Father Levesque, and he was instrumental in getting this project started. And as many of you know, we get him back to campus when he's done his interim term at St. John's, so we're anxious already to have you back. I also want to welcome two people who've recently retired from Niagara but played a significant role in why we're here today. Mr. Don Bilecki, if you're here, Don, please raise your hand. Don was our Vice President for Institutional Advancement and obviously a big part of bringing the campaign to a successful conclusion. And also Dr. Nancy McGlynn. As many of you know, Nancy was our Dean Emeritus of the College of Arts and Sciences and had the unbelievable passion to see this thing through. I also want to recognize Dr. Bob Green, Dr. Mary McCourt, and Dr. Chris Stoy, along with many of the science faculty, for their work and cooperation in getting this project done. Lastly, I'd like to thank a few members of the campus team who managed the project. Dr. Judy Willard, Don Smith, excuse me, Chris Ferguson, Karen Kosmala, all worked incredibly close with Scrifari Construction throughout the entire process, and obviously this is the display of their hard work. So thank you all. So it's a great day to be a Purple Eagle and a great day for us to celebrate, and I'll turn it back over to Don. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff, for your words, and thank you for your continued commitment to Niagara University. The heart of any great university is its students, and Niagara University is no different. Today, I am pleased to introduce Bethany Zakrzewski to speak on behalf of the student body. Bethany?
I am honored to be here today on behalf of the Niagara University students. First, I would like to thank Father Levesque, Mr. Holzschuh, and the Board of Trustees for their innovative vision for this building. I would like to thank the many donors who helped to make this building possible. Mr. Golisano, I want to say a special thank you to you. I'm a senior biology major, and it is my goal to continue my education after graduation to become a physician's assistant. I have had the experience to learn and to work with many great faculty members here at Niagara. We have done great work in DePaul Hall, but Mr. Golisano, because of your incredible generosity, my senior year is now highlighted by this amazing building. The first month of classes has been great, and I look forward to continuing to learn and to do research in this cutting-edge facility. Currently, my senior thesis focuses on meiotic recombination hotspot research, which examines how cells divide and retain genetic information. This is the same type of work that is used and applied in cancer research throughout the world. In addition to the integrated labs and the extra resources and workspaces in the Golisano Center, the extra resources and workspaces in the Golisano Center have added greatly to my learning experience. Thank you again for allowing me to be here today. It is an honor to represent the students of Niagara, and Mr. Golisano, thank you so much for your generosity and kindness.
Thank you for being with us today, Bethany, and best of luck to you as you continue your work at Niagara and in your career as a physician's assistant. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time it gives me great pleasure to introduce the 26th president of Niagara University, the Reverend James Maher, CM.
Thank you, Dave, and good afternoon. It is my pleasure to welcome you on this historic day at Niagara University. It was in 1883 that the university, this little university at the time from Mount Eagle, began its first foray into the world of medical and life sciences. It was the year that Niagara University founded a medical college in Buffalo. In its 15-year history, the college graduated 137 doctors to serve the people of Western New York and beyond as healers in the tradition of St. Vincent de Paul. From those early days, Niagara University would later give birth to a College of Nursing in 1946, continuing to make an impact on the lives of people around the world. The medical and life science tradition represents the best of the infinite tradition of St. Vincent de Paul, seeking to fuse together faith, compassion, and an abiding commitment of excellence woven together in the fabric of teaching, research, and service. As we gather today, we recognize who have made this day and this beautiful building possible. Mr. Robert Dwyer, Chair Emeritus and National Chairman of the Promise of Niagara. Marcia Joy Sullivan, Vice Chair of the campaign and current Niagara trustee. Major donors and foundations who helped make this project possible include Eugene and Connie Corisanti, the Margaret L. Welt Foundation, the John R. O'Shea Foundation, and our trustee, Pamela Jacobs Vogt. Pam's late husband, Dr. Larry Jacobs, had an incredible impact on the area of science, and we will recognize him in a special way this afternoon as the second floor rooms are dedicated in honor of his incredible legacy. We thank you. This day would not be possible without the giant and gentle, persevering spirit of Father Joseph Levesque, who never gave up on his dream of constructing a state-of-the-art life science and medical facility building for the students and faculty of Niagara University. One would later come to know how NU would serve the good people of Western New York and the Western New York community. Father Joe has given his life and his priesthood to the church and the people of Western New York. Welcome home, Joe. It is with the deepest gratitude that we acknowledge the very generous gift of Thomas Golisano, a man of infinite ingenuity and creativity who was not simply given the gift of a state-of-the-art building, but has challenged us all to be excellent in teaching, research, and services in the life sciences. Even with this outstanding resource on our campus, we cannot be singular contributors. We will continue to form critical partnerships to advance healing and health for the people of Western New York. We thank you, Mr. Golisano, and we embrace your challenge to be both compassionate and excellent. St. Vincent de Paul reminded us Vincentians and members of the Vincentian family that God's gifts are meant to make the most meaningful impacts of human life, advancing human health, human development, and claiming human dignity for the most vulnerable in our world. So what is the gift of this building? Surely it will deepen partnerships between Niagara University and our current great partners, Mount St. Mary's Hospital, Niagara Falls Memorial Hospital, Hampton Woodward Medical Research Institute, Roswell Park Cancer Institute, and the University of Buffalo Medical School, to name a few, as well as other dynamic partners who will emerge. The gift of this building will position Niagara University to make an even greater contribution to the technology and medical corridor of Buffalo, poised to contribute to the economic engine of Western New York and do our part to help the Buffalo Billion. The gift of this building will attract top students and leading faculty to join Niagara University as a community of compassionate scholars. The gift of this building will prepare Niagara University and its students for the fields of chemistry and biology for impactful service in promoting, protecting, caring for the environment, developing innovative and sustainable products with industry. It will help our university train the next generation of young minds to be our society's teachers and educational leaders in the critical field of STEM education. Close to our Vincentian heart, it will enable Niagara University to open up the miraculous world of STEM education to the most educationally and economically disadvantaged students. But this building's greatest gift is to remind us that our most significant contribution in life is not simply what we build, but what we develop and leave behind to grow. This is the greatest gift, the gift that gives unto eternity. Thank you, Mr. Golisano, who made this day possible, and everyone else. God bless Niagara University, and I have the pleasure to welcome Thomas Golisano.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The rest of you may be seated. Oh, that's right. Thanks for that terrific greeting. It's a beautiful building, isn't it? Blends perfectly with the campus as far as I'm concerned. I'd like to introduce a couple of people, if I may. First of all, a lot of people think when they come to us for foundation grants that I make the final decisions. Well, I do once in a while, but we have a director of our family foundation who does all the groundwork and helps in finalizing the decision, Ann Costello. You can stand up, Ann. Oh, by the way, a friend of mine called me last night and said, make sure you wear a purple tie. So it hit me, yeah, I could understand that. I forgot about it this morning, so I put on my suit and I had my trousers on. I said, oh, I forgot the purple tie. So my tie doesn't match my suit, but it is a purple tie. And then I found a purple folder in the office. Two other people I'd like to introduce. First one is an alumni, Frank Fianacca. Where are you, Frank? He's right here. Okay, not too much applause. Frank used to work at Paychex, and he was a very successful salesperson in sales management. And then he recruited one of our female salespeople and married her. And then he went off to Philadelphia to be a competitor. So nice to see you, Frank. I don't know why I call you a friend. But we are still friends, and boy, could he hit a baseball. The other alumni I'd like to introduce you to is Dan DePofi. Dan, stand up. Come on. Dan was part of the ownership team of the Buffalo Sabres and ran all the operations, excluding what players we used. But he did everything else for the Sabres and obviously did a very good job. And Dan has volunteered to answer any questions about the bad start the team is getting off to this year. He's right here in the yellow shirt. Well, Father Levesque, it's been a number of years, but I got to tell you, you're part of a trend that's happened to me. We've given some contributions to other institutions, and it seems like every time we make the commitment to the institution, the CEO retires. And you're not unlike the others. Well, from the beginning, I was impressed with Niagara University's, first of all, their strong programs and growing student enrollment, science, math, and technology. I was impressed with their mission of community service and plan to change science instruction to an integrated approach. Today, if we are to prepare students for tomorrow's workforce, we need collaboration across various disciplines, including math, computer technology, engineering, and of course, biological and physical sciences. This new building brings all these departments together. Father Levesque did a good job convincing me that successful interdisciplinary teaching requires new materials and approaches. Of course, they always say that, you know. And it needed reconfigured classrooms and upgraded laboratories and equipment. Having just walked through the building, they have that now, certainly. I'm very pleased that I could play a part in the creation of this new science complex. We cannot forget, or at least I cannot forget, your display of gratitude. I must remind you that none of this would have been possible except for the 13,000 employees that serve 570,000 clients at Paychex, and of course, thousands and thousands of shareholders. Also, the Sabres helped a little. I'm very proud to have this building bear my name, and I hope it makes a great contribution to Niagara University. It deserves it. One more thing. The only wealth you get to keep is that which you give away. I'll let you think about that one. Beautiful.